We're in the midst of spring now and it's coming up to summer, and that means one thing only, it's Hugo Spritz season. So today I'm going to show you how to make elderflower cordial from elderflower that we're going to forage within this woodland. Let's go check it out. What we've got here is hawthorn, and this is one that you could maybe confuse with elderflower. It's got lovely white flowers, and elderflower itself is got that white florets. But the key distinguishing feature here is hawthorn spiky, and it's got these very particular leaves, and also the flowers here, they're small little flowers like that. Elderflower has a big floret we're looking for with loads of little flowers on it. So let's keep looking. We've got another edible plant here, guys, found really regularly in woodlands. This is called garlic mustard, sometimes also called jack of the hedge. When you're eating it, you want to be careful because along there, this is obviously going to be where dogs pee. But we come a little further back here and you've got these beautiful ones here. You take it off. The small leaves are a lot better and tastier than the big leaves. The big leaves are a bit bitter. But if you crush it up, it has a lovely garlicky smell, and this is an edible plant that you can eat and you can put in salads. Really easy one to know. Got these big leaves and white flowers at the top, and it grows quite tall, so you can see there. It's a great one to learn. Let's keep going. Making elderflower cordial is one of the most accessible ways to forage. The flowers are really easy to identify, and so is the whole tree. In addition to that, to make elderflower cordial, you don't need many things. So what equipment might you need? Let me show you. So in my bag today, I have a pair of snips, I guess you would call them, or garden pliers or tweezers. I don't know the right word, but here we go. Got them here. That's what I use to just snip the end of the elderflower. You could also use a small knife or anything that would really work. And then next in here, I have a little bag. And the reason you want that bag is to keep the florets in. So I've got this one here. In terms of using them, you just want to be careful because there's obviously going to be a lot of bugs on them. So you want to be flicking those off, and later, once you forage them, if there are still a couple on there, you just want to be dropping them off and making sure that they're set free. So that's it. That's the two pieces of equipment I've got. And then the final thing is just to remember to identify it carefully and only take what you need. Wow, we've got it here. This is the elder tree which grows the elderflower we're looking for. Let's give it a smell. Oh, it smells delightful. It literally smells like the cordial we're gonna make. So elderflower has got that white, creamy little flowers, and they make up this big floret. This one isn't full. We're only gonna be picking the full ones like this. Can you see that? Absolutely beautiful, like glistening in the sun. So how do we identify elder as a tree? So we're looking for the leaves as a really key giveaway. They've got this opposite leaves. Can you see how they mirror each other? And they have between about 5 and 7. So that's in one easy way. And the second is the bark. So here, it's got kind of this crumbly, fissured texture that's a really distinguishing giveaway. And then the final thing to know is where to look. So elder as a tree is also referred to as a shrub, and it grows in that lower canopy of the woodland. You can find it in hedgerows, but we're in a deciduous woodland today, and this is a key way to find it. So now let's talk about how to make the cordial. Right, so in terms of looking for which ones I'm gonna take, see these two here? This is a good example. This one, no flowers on it, that's no good. This one here, only half of them are open. We want the full shebang. So up here, you can see here, all the flowers are open, there's barely any insects on, so we'll be taking that one. When you're pruning them, you want to cut as close to the floret as possible because you don't want to be cooking and kind of boiling this green stuff, this green kind of stem, and we'll talk about that a little later in the video. So how many do you need? Ideally, if you're going to make a litre of cordial, you're going to want about 20 florets. So what I tend to do is I tend to take maybe 5 from one tree and then go find another tree to space it out. So let's do that. You can see the pollen is getting all over my hands. That's what's got the smell, and that's what's going to give the flavour to the elderflower cordial. So we'll put it in this bag now. 2 down, 18 to go. If it does have any insects on, this one doesn't, I just give it a little shake like that. When looking for elder trees, you'll quite often find that they love kind of the edge of the woodland. So you can see here, it's lovely in a sunny place. And as you can see, this one's a lot taller than me, so we're not going to be able to pick any florets, which means that there's going to be plenty available for all the wildlife. This is exactly what we're looking for, a nice big one. Look at that, beautiful. Right, the pollen is what makes the elderflower cordial taste so good. Can you see that? Couple bugs as well. So that's why it's important to shake it off. Guys, we now have 20 elderflower florets, so let's go make the elderflower cordial. Now that we're back after being out and collecting our elderflower florets, what we've done here is I've taken them and I've trimmed the stems of those florets for all the bits that we don't need. The reason this is because we don't want to be boiling these green bits, so I've trimmed those off. I've got here in front of me everything you need to make the elderflower cordial. I've got 1 kilo of golden caster sugar. I've got a lemon and an orange. You can do this recipe with 2 lemons, but I've decided to switch it up this time. And then you're going to be wanting to use 1 litre of boiling water. And here I've got a nice container to put it in, a nice bottle. Right, so that's all of that. So now I'll show you the next steps and how you make it. The first step in making it is I'm going to combine 1 kilogram of the golden caster sugar with 1 litre of boiling water in this pot, and I'm going to stir that until it dissolves. The next step is I'm going to zest and cut the lemon slices, and I'm also going to zest and cut the orange slices. I'm then going to add into this sugary water the lemon and orange slices and the elderflower florets. Once I've added these, I'm then going to let it dissolve and steep for about 8 to 24 hours. As you can see, I've now dissolved the 1 kilo of golden caster sugar into the 1 litre of water. Now that this has come to a boil and dissolved, I'm now going to add the lemon and orange slices and the lemon and orange zest. So let's start with that. Put that straight in. And as you can see, this is a really simple recipe. There's not too much to it. You want to be careful because obviously this is boiling water, so we'll add those slices in gently. Look at that, it's looking beautiful already. Give it a little stir. It smells so fragrant. And now that we've added that mixture in, we're now going to add the elderflower florets that we have foraged. So let's put those in. You can put this in a cheesecloth, that is one way to approach it, but personally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to strain it at the end. So it can go straight in. Wow guys, that smells so beautiful and it looks so pretty. Let me show you a closer look. How pretty is that looking? So what we do is we just give it a nice stir and then we're going to let it steep for about 8 to 24 hours, and the result of this will be our beautiful elderflower cordial. So I'm going to cover the lid and check back with you guys in 8 to 24 hours. Right guys, we're back. I left it overnight and I've now bottled up the elderflower cordial here. What I've done is I've used like a sieve, or you can use a cheesecloth just to filter it out. And what I'm going to show you now is how to make a Hugo Spritz with the elderflower cordial that you've made and a virgin non-alcoholic cocktail. The first step we're going to do now is we're going to add the ice to both the drinks. Now that we've added the ice, what we're going to do now is add our elderflower cordial. Because it's quite a mild flavour, I personally like to add quite a bit, so I'd say about 1/3 of the glass. Yeah, that looks great. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but can you see that beautiful golden colour? And you can see that we've zested the lemon and orange, and you can see those little zests in the cordial. The next stage is for the Hugo Spritz. I'm going to add some Prosecco. And I think mint as a herb goes really well in this drink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add mint to both of the drinks. So we've got one there for the virgin, non-alcoholic, and one there for the Hugo Spritz. Let's give that a nice stir. Wow, it's looking delicious already. And then for the non-alcoholic, what I suggest is you could use soda water, but here I'm just going to use sparkling water. And there we go, you just top that off. There you have it guys, two beautiful cocktails. We've got the Hugo Spritz, which is the alcoholic one, and we've got the non-alcoholic Hugo Spritz cocktail. Hope you guys enjoy.